I just want to make sure the connection is good. All right, before I go in. Basically, I wanted to go live today because it seems like the industry has come full circle, and I don't know if they're becoming hip, you know, to us evolving and becoming smarter. So basically what they're doing is they're developing things to, you know, thwart our forward progress, you know, in the health community. And when I say that, I say that I'm pretty sure a lot of you have seen that there are a lot of videos that have popped up now that are trying to downplay MSG. They're saying it's not harmful, it doesn't really do anything, the research behind it was flawed, and the science was based on this and that. And so, listen, I'm going to disclose the information to you that I think is legitimately the truth and the basis of everything and where it comes from. And I'm going to give that to you. And then you can take it upon yourself to go ahead and, you know, go ahead and do your own research and see if that correlates with what it is I'm saying, or that correlates with what they're saying, or if it correlates with what we're seeing and experiencing in our everyday lives with our relatives, with ourselves, experiencing it in it, you know, our coworkers, just looking at it. You know what I'm saying? Because you got two different levels. You can go with research and what science says, and then you can take that and you can apply that to real life and see if that actually applies. So no matter what it is Damian Michael says, you can always go and find out if he's full of shit. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, you know, I can't tell you nothing that you can't tell for yourself. And when somebody's telling you the truth, you can feel it. Okay. MSG, all right? Let's start from the beginning. In Japan, right, years, during the 1700s to the 1800th century, all the way up to the early 1900s, the Japanese people would take a seaweed called kombu, okay? And they would chop it up, and they would season their food with it. You know, and they would pepper it in there. You know, they'd make their soups and so on and so forth with it, right? And inside of this seaweed, okay, what nobody knew at the time, you know, it wasn't science in laboratories at the time, inside of the seaweed was monosodium glutamate, a glutamic acid was inside of this seaweed. This is what was giving the food, if you guys have ever seen my video about umami, this is what was giving the food the umami, the savory flavor, all right? In 1908, they discovered this isolated amino acid, glutamate, inside of this seaweed, okay? By 1933, a company, which you can research, by the name of Agini, A-G-I-N-I Moto, started producing this, because basically they saw it, they found it, they isolated it in the laboratory, and it was like, oh, we got this. Oh yeah, we can definitely do this. And so they isolated the amino acid. Once they did that, it was over. All right? Within the next year, they were creating thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds of monosodium glutamate, also known as MSG. Now, how does it jump over here to the States? Okay? Now remember, this came from a seaweed that the Japanese people were using in their food. Healthy then. Kombu still exists. It still does release that umami. If you want to put it in a soup, it will still come out. But naturally, this right here is an isolated form. And just to put it out there, because they're always telling you, oh, this is healthy and that's healthy, this is healthy. Anything in an isolated form is not healthy. It's a drug. If it's in an isolated form, it's a drug. Period. 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 All right? Don't let them tell you anything else. It's a drug. Now, it came to the United States because they were manufacturing. Think about the year. Think about the year. Okay? By 1933, they're manufacturing this. Remember the World War I, World War II now, right? Think about the year. Now it comes to the United States. What are we in? We are in the Industrial Revolution right now. What are they making? They're starting to make packaged lunches. They're trying to convenient, you know, make food convenient and so on and so forth. The problem was When they were packaging all this food and making these soups and trying to make, home-cooked meals and just freeze them and so on and so forth, they taste like trash. They taste like garbage. When they were trying to make soups and broths and so on and so forth in cans, the problem was that by the time it got to you after sitting in a can for a month or two or a year, it got to you and it had like a tinny kind of taste to it. So what they did was they put MSG in the food. Okay? Because what the monosodium glutamate does to the food is it makes it taste good no matter what the fuck it is. That is why everybody loves Campbell's soup. Campbell's soup always tastes good. Why? Because it has MSG in it and they can't take it out. If Campbell's takes the MSG out the soup, you won't buy the soup. Understand? You won't buy the soup. They even put MSG as natural flavor and they put that in baby food. That ended up getting banned because MSG ended up coming down and getting a bad name. So they changed the name of it, put it under another name, and instead of baby food, they changed it to toddler food because that's not under the baby label. And that's how that works. And the FDA approved that. All right? It's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. All right? It's just going to get worse. When they were doing research, okay, before they got MSG approved, they found that consuming large amounts of MSG burnt the retinas on your eyes. Like it like made you go blind. Okay? It ruined your vision. They published that in Optometry, which is like an eye magazine. And it was in there for years, and nobody saw it, and nobody found out about it. By the time a guy found out about it, he thought he could just go to the food manufacturers and tell them, hey, this does this to people here, man. It's going to mess them up. He went to the food manufacturers. He told them just that. The food manufacturers told him, we don't care. We're selling products right now. Like, we don't care. This is how we're selling our food right now. And the underlying thing with MSG that a lot of you don't know is it's the reason why you're addicted to so many foods. You're fat. You're diabetic, and you can't get away from it because you're hooked on it because we're a nation run on MSG. Now, let me go forward. I'm going to break this down more on like a scientific level so you can like really understand how they got us fucked up. Check it, right? When you consume MSG, right? Now, MSG is in everything. It's in everything, okay? Everybody thinks Asian people, Chinese food, MSG. Wrong. Black people love MSG too. That's why they always sprinkling their Sassoon, sprinkling their Lowry's on there. Go research the ingredients for Lowry's. You're going to see on there natural flavor. It's like, how do I have seasoning, which should be like salt, pepper, oregano, this. How do I have seasoning in here, and then y'all just put natural flavor? How the fuck you put natural flavor in? Like, where the fuck did that come from? I thought all this shit was natural, but out of all that shit, you go, natural flavor. Sometimes you just got to think about shit sometimes. Then you got Spanish people. They can't cook without that goddamn fucking packet or that goddamn MSG latent rice. Like when y'all see that yellow rice, that's MSG rice. It's called MSG rice. That's why the yellow rice, you just look. How many people are just eating the damn yellow rice just because, man, shit, the yellow rice just tastes good? What's at this party, man? I just had a yellow rice, man. Why? Because it's loaded with MSG. It's loaded with MSG, you know? A lot of people out there I'm going to get to that part, but a lot of people thinking they thick because they thick. And it's running my family and thickness and my aunt thick and that's thick and this thick. No, man, y'all got thick goddamn heads. Your fucking heads is thick because you keep eating goddamn MSG and MSG will thicken your ass up. Why? Because when you consume MSG, what happens is it blocks, okay? No, it doesn't block. It pumps out insulin. Insulin, what happens with insulin, when insulin goes into your bloodstream, is it blocks 6 different fat-burning hormones. I'm going to say this again. When insulin is inside of your bloodstream, it blocks 6 different fat-burning hormones. What does that mean? That means you eating this lunch, breakfast, and dinner, you are never in a fat-burning state. You in a fat-gaining state. Chemically, on an enzyme level, your body anaerobically, you can't get there. You can't get there. Chemically, you can't get there. This stuff goes straight through straight through your blood-brain barrier. Now, after y'all go with my live, y'all can go over there and try and, I know a lot of people want to refute things and they want to figure out things. By all means, go look for it. Go look for it and find it. You are going to find, and I'm going to give y'all examples too. You're going to find that MSG, all right? MSG is an excitotoxin, all right? It's an excitotoxin. When it goes inside your brain, it's a cell inside your brain. And it goes like this. And when they did research on these cells inside the brain, they put them in a petri dish and they treated them with the monosodium glutamate. And for an hour, these cells were vibrating really, really fast. And they seemed as if everything was fine. But after that hour was over, the cells died. Now, what do you think kind of role that plays when you go into a place that loaded with MSG like a Chinese buffet or something, and you're just sitting in there aimlessly eating? What's happening? Brain cells, boom. Brain cells, boom. Before you know it, your brain is just like, yeah, you want some more of that General Toast? Yeah, I don't know, man, I'm full. I guess. Your brain's dead. You're never going to watch somebody sit down and go eat some Chinese food or sit down and eat an MSG-laden meal, and then after they eat that MSG-laden meal, they're going to be, all right, I'm up, I'm ready, I'm sharp, I'm focused, I'm ready to go. All right, let's do this, let's handle this. Yeah, I want to follow you. No. Just, all you got to do is watch them. They become lethargic, foggy, slightly unaware, offbeat. They're not there. They're the same way you always was after you finish your pork fried rice with chicken wings with the fries, the ketchup, and the hot sauce and all that doused on it. All that. The fries, the MSG, the rice, the oil they put that in, the MSG, everything, the MSG, everything. All that. Tell me the last time you went and you had an MSG-laden meal and afterwards you was just feeling great and you was ready to take the world on. It doesn't happen. It doesn't exist, all right? I remember when I used to buy those packets, right? I used to cook a pot of white rice. After I was done with the white rice, I used to take a packet of Sassoon Goya, and I used to put that in with the kidney beans. And I used to just mix that around the pot, and I just put some Sassoon Goya, some more, the seasoning version on there. And then, I put that up in there, and then after that was all said and done, I just eat that. I was just basically eating kidney beans and monosodium glutamate. I didn't know that, though. I thought I was a good cook. I thought I was the man. You know what I'm saying? I thought I was really cooking it up. You know what I'm saying? Hell to the no, I wasn't. You know what I'm saying? And that's the same exact thing we do when we sitting up there with the Lowry's, the seasoning salt, the Sassoon Goyas. You know what I'm saying? That's the same thing we do. All that Spanish food that everybody loves is just covered in MSG. It's covered in MSG just like the Chinese food. All your food. All right? It comes in so many different names. It's ridiculous. Texturized protein, vegetable protein, torula, autolyzed yeast extract, natural flavor. The list just keeps going on and on and on. Whey protein isolate. Like anything they can name this under, it's in there. It's an Ensure, okay? It's in your Ensure. It's in there. It's in your Doritos. It's in there. Why do you think y'all like Doritos? It's in ranch dressing. Why do you think you like ranch dressing? Why do you think you like it? I'll tell you something right now. Go get you some organic ranch dressing. They can't put it in there. Go get you some organic ranch dressing and go try some ranch dressing with monosodium glutamate. You want to taste the organic ranch, you're going to be like, and that's when we all go, I think there's something missing. Yeah, doesn't it just taste like there's something missing? And then we want to add this and add that and add this and add that. We are trying so goddamn hard to hit that glutamate receptor and fire off those brain cells like we're used to, but we can't hit it there because we don't have the drug to put inside of the food. You get what I'm saying? So the way MSG preys on us and ends up playing on our minds is, for one, it ends up making us diabetic and fat. Okay? And let me tell you this right now. If somebody wants to fucking tell you that MSG is not bad, ask them, go, oh, okay, MSG is not bad. I want you to tell me, why is it that diabetic researchers, when they need fat rats, they feed the rats 100% MSG diet. They feed them an MSG diet. Why? Because there's a 200 to 300% chance that the rats get fat. What is that? That means for a motherfucking fact the rat's gonna get fat if we feed them MSG. Why? Because I just told y'all why. It's gonna shut off all that fat burning hormones. What does that mean it's going? Nothing but fat storing hormones. But duh, it's common sense. And then next thing you know, from all of the constant insulin being pumped out, y'all already know that fucks up your shit. Pancreas like, you nigga, you got diabetes now, man. You can inject that shit. It keeps going on and on and on. You don't need a PhD to know this. All you need is like a brain and like a little bit of knowledge of chemistry and how they're fucking you. You know what I'm saying? All those chips, all the Doritos, all the chips you eat, all of them, they're just covered with MSG. All the Weight Watchers stuff, the frozen dinners, the pizza, all of them are covered with MSG. And that is why when it's time for you to try and convert over to veganism, or it's time for you to try and convert over to a natural diet, you can't do it. You can't do it because when you go to eat regular natural food, it doesn't give you the same high. You're not looking for fucking nutrients. Let's be for real. Is anybody looking for nutrients when they eat? Get the fuck out of here. Maybe some hardcore vegans are looking for some good nutrients or something like that, but most people aren't looking for no goddamn nutrients. They just want the shit to taste good. And they prey on that. And they just put it in there and they just make it taste good for you. And that's the problem why you can't get off of the garbage food. Because that food sets off the receptors and gives you a party. And then when you go to eat our food, it's just like, that's grass. That's like eating bark. Yeah, but where's the flavor? More like, but where's the MSG? You know, there's no MSG in there. Why don't you put some MSG in there? And basically, that's what that's all about right there. That's what that's all about. Your vegetable broths and all that. That's MSG. It's just MSG. You can't eat soup. There's no soup nowhere. In your supermarket, in your house, in your local center, there's no soup anywhere that you are eating that does not have MSG in it. It's always in there under some name, and usually it's natural flavor because they know now that we are up on MSG. So they put it in there under all these code names. Let me read some of these code names off right here. MSG, accent. Has anybody ever seen that seasoning called accent? It's like accent. Just accent the dish enough. Accent. Yeah, you're just accenting it with MSG. That's all you're doing. You accenting it with MSG. That's it. And do not forget what I told you. MSG is an excitotoxin. It makes your cells go like that and then they pop. You make your cells go like that and then they pop. All right? That is why they put it in all the food, because it dumbs you down. If I can keep you dumb and keep you coming back and keep you craving that one food, why would you go over here to something else? There's no reason to go to something else. Do y'all realize that most people that have to go and change over to a natural and or a more healthy diet, they never fucking just do the shit? Something always has to be wrong. Like they have to have something wrong. Like in order for them to leave MSG, leave that MSG thug life alone, they gotta like, you know, get ready to have surgery or some crazy shit. Like it's gotta be life-threatening. Or they just They just can't do it. Like, you know, like even like right now, you know, I'm telling people, you know, about this MSG and stuff like that. And if it was me, I would have just went in my cabinets and cleaned this out. I'd be like, yo, man, I got to get rid of this Ensure. This has got to go. I got to get rid of all these rice-a-roni meals, all these hamburger helpers, all these ramen noodles. Because the ramen noodles is nothing but some dead noodles you can't digest and a packet of MSG. Everybody know what ramen noodles is. If you don't know what ramen noodles is, get off my live. Get the hell off my live, because you must have so much goddamn money you don't fucking need to be here right now. But everybody else that's been through the struggle, y'all know about some ramen noodles, and you know about that little damn packet, right? That packet go, wait, what kind you got? Oh, I got the shrimp ramen noodles. I got the chicken ramen noodles. What you got? I got the beef ramen. Man, the goddamn man. Y'all all got a packet of goddamn MSG, man. So all you got was a goddamn packet of MSG. Chicken. I got some chicken ramen. Man, ain't no damn chicken in there. Your poor ass. Shit, 99 cents. You talking about? I got some shrimp ramen. Man, ain't no goddamn shrimp in there. If you don't sit your silly ass down. Nah, but for real though. For real. That's what we eating. You know what I'm saying? You eating that. You eating that garbage. You know what I'm saying? All that stuff that's in your refrigerator, you know, the risottos meals and all of that stuff. All that stuff that you think is really, really good and it's really, really yummy and it makes you feel good and happy. All those chips and everything. All that, man. It's just MSG. You're addicted to it. You know what I'm saying? You're just addicted to the MSG. And the carrageenan, you know, they even put that shit in the almond milk now. All of that stuff. Carrageenan, too. All of that. All that. You got to understand, when you go into your house and you try to recreate something and it's always missing something, you got to ask yourself, damn, where did it go and why is it missing that? And if y'all really want to add some more science to the situation, think about it. Not many white people actually use the seasonings that black and Spanish people use. A lot of times, they actually fucking dodge the MSG. That's why their food ain't got no goddamn flavor. You know what I'm saying? They don't put the MSG in the motherfucker. They'll put a whole bunch of salt in there. They'll salt it down, you know, they put salt and pepper and but they'll miss the MSG. You know what I'm saying? And then that joint won't pop like our MSG-laden food. And then we just like, God damn it, Sarah, your fucking casserole sucks. Sarah, the fuck? Chicken's in here. Fucking raisins are in here, Sarah. There's no goddamn fucking MSG. Pass me that fried chicken, Ron. Pass me that fried chicken. Nah, but for real though, for real. That's the science behind that whole situation. If you want to look at it like that. If you want to look at it like that, you know? Because I've been watching it for a while now. I lived the life. You lived the life. We've been there. You know, we've been the kid. You know, we've been the kid. We've sat there. We've seen it. Why do you think throughout the entire hood you can just drive around slowly? And what the fuck is everybody eating? Everybody's eating like a bag of fucking Cheetos, yo. Like, why the fuck is everybody eating hot Cheetos? Like, I just feel like getting out my motherfucking car and be like, man, hold up. Why you put them goddamn Cheetos down, man? They cover with MSG, they cover with flame retardant, fingertips orange, you look stupid. You look stupid. Pull your damn pants up, god damn it. Nah, but for real though, it's just, like, if you look around, you can just see that, why are we doing this on a daily basis? You know what I'm saying? Why do we keep going to these things? Why do they think they make all of these things for us on every single corner? They're everywhere. All of these things are everywhere. And let me just tell you how serious it is. They only put the MSG inside of the breading of, say, a spicy fried chicken sandwich, okay? So if you didn't want to enjoy that chicken sandwich, or you just wanted to taste the chicken the way it would taste without MSG, just take the breading off. Because if you take the breading off, you take the MSG off. Now eat that chicken from Wendy's. It doesn't taste good. It doesn't taste good because there's no MSG in there. You understand? So if you're a person that, well, actually, if you're a woman that doesn't know how to cook, don't give a fuck if your husband gets fat or gets diabetes, you can just sprinkle a little MSG in anything and that shit gonna taste good. You're going, damn, babe! What'd you put in this rice? I just see pepper in here, but damn, this rice good, babe! Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna think, you know, babe on fire, you know what I'm saying? Babe been hanging out with them chefs from the documentaries, but really, you know, babe just dosed you with something. Babe hit you with that dude, you know. That's how they be doing y'all with the MSG. The manufacturers be like, MSG. Doritos. MSG. McDonald's, MSG, 3 billion served bitches, MSG. And y'all be pulling right back to that drive-thru. Why do you think that drive-thru be like that, man? That drive-thru be crazy. You see people bugging out in the drive-thru? You see people bugging out the drive-thru, right? Mad and angry and ready to fuck somebody up? Ain't that the same way you be when you go to see the weed man and he not there? Right? And you get there, you just sitting there holding that 20 in your hand and you just like, say something. Somebody say, man, the way my fucking day going, say something to me right now. I will fuck you up. I will say something to me right now. You said you got loud? Fuck out my face. Yo, say something to me right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. It's the same thing. Because your brain, your dopamine levels and everything is just constantly running on that. And if you don't believe me, everybody that's sitting there that has to wake up the next morning to have a breakfast sandwich or something, they have an MSG for breakfast. You have an MSG. That's what you having for breakfast. Every single goddamn day. And for lunch, you're going to have some more MSG. You already planning what you having for lunch tomorrow. While you sitting at your desk in the morning, by the time that coffee gone, you already like, I'm going to go here, down there, I'm going to do some MSG here, this, down, and third. Why do you think people like sushi? People love sushi. Why do people like sushi? People like sushi because when you put that soy sauce on there, it's an isolated form of MSG. It's just salted MSG. It's just MSG and water. That's all it is. You put MSG and water all over your sushi. Try your sushi plain, without no soy sauce, without anything, without nothing. It ain't what it's supposed to be. It ain't really popping like that. You know what I'm saying? But you add that, hit them with the MSG. Next thing you know, boom, that joint just popped wide open. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta look out for that, man. Y'all gotta look out for that. Y'all gotta look out for that because once you get into the cycle of it, you can't get out of it. And that's the problem because other food, and that's why I always tell people, when you want to transition over to a new diet, what you really, really need to do is you need to fast. And you fast because you get that out of your system. You detox from that. Okay? And what happens is, if you don't eat food for, say, 3 to 5 days, I tell you something right now. You don't eat food for 3 to 5 days, a cucumber tastes fucking fantastic. You just eat a cucumber, like, damn, this cucumber good as fuck. You just chop up a tomato by itself, no salt, no pepper, nothing, and just be like, God, this is just, damn, this is good. You know what I'm saying? And that's just because your taste buds, instead of being dulled down and beat up by that flavor enhance all the time, you give them time to, you know, get their stimulation back. You know what I'm saying? And then once the tiniest little thing hits your tongue, woo, it lights up the way it's supposed to if it's not dulled down. You get what I'm saying? Dull down the taste buds, you know, dumb down our goddamn brain. You know, we can't think straight. I already told you they put it in the baby formula under different secret names. You know, like the names and vegans, y'all aren't safe either. All the chips and all the rest of that stuff, all the Benitos and all the rest of that stuff, like they put MSG on that. They put it under a different name. They call it like Tarula yeast extract and all these different other names. Like it's y'all not safe either. So you gotta learn how to prepare your food and how to make your food taste good without putting that chemical in there. Because I'm telling y'all right now, they're going to try and do their best to make it seem as if MSG is not doing anything wrong. But if you look at the people around you, all they're doing is consuming food with MSG and they're addicted to it. Look at their shopping carts. They're addicted to it. Look at their house. They're addicted to it. You know what I'm saying? It's just ridiculous. People can't stop eating it every single day. So next time somebody tells y'all, you know, the MSG is okay, it's not. And there's laws behind it. For instance, because they know that we know what we know now, they'll put a sign outside a place that says, no MSG used here, no MSG added. But the secret is this. They can put that sign out there as long as the ingredient they used in the food is not 99% MSG. Now, let me say that again. I can say that I don't use MSG in my establishment as long as the form, because they won't use MSG. They'll use something else like, what is this? We got natural flavoring, monopotassium glutamate, hydrolyzed vegetable protein, glutamic acid, texturized protein, sodium caseinate, carrageenan, annatto, cornstarch. They will use modified food starch, any of these different things. And as long as it's not 99% MSG, they can say, no, we don't use MSG here. Oh, MSG? No, we don't use MSG here. Because you're not smart enough to be like, well, do you use sodium caseinate? Did you use some natural meat tenderizer? Did you use some natural flavoring? Did you use some MSG? Did you use some torrelia yeast extract? Did you use some oilized yeast extract? You know, and they're not smart enough to know what the fuck is being used anyway, because they probably just get paid a minimum wage to work there, and they really don't give a fuck about your health, because they really don't give a fuck about theirs. Yeah, but like I was saying, the point of the matter is they can trick you. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to tell you the truth, because there's a loophole that allows them to tell you the truth legally, as they're fucking lying to you. If that makes any sense. I don't think that makes any sense. But yeah. So don't trust MSG. Don't give it to your kids. And as far as I'm concerned, when they talk about the headaches from the MSG, the only thing that all researchers have come to find is that it's an excitotoxin. It does destroy brain cells. It makes them vibrate really, really fast and explode because it does surpass the blood-brain barrier. That is exactly why when you were a little kid and I was a little kid, as soon as we put a McDonald's fry or that burger in our mouth or took a sip of the shake or any of that stuff, because all of that stuff is loaded with MSG. All of it. That is why, as a child, when you're driving by McDonald's, you're just sitting there, you're trying to be all pouty-faced and cute, and you're looking at moms in the mirror, looking at her driving, you're looking at everybody, and just like, you know, your cousins is nudging you, like, yo, man, tell them we hungry, man, tell them we hungry, McDonald's is right there. It's because those brains is going off, man. The brains is popping off, you know, and you need that drug that's inside of that. You know what I'm saying? And it's in everything. You know, so don't get your kids hooked on it, because that's why they scream and that's why they cry when they can't get things. When they scream, when they cry, when they can't get things, it's because they're addicted to them and they can't feed their addiction. And by you giving this to them, you're feeding their addiction. You're just feeding their addiction. Do you think for 2 seconds a kid would eat a fucking chicken McNugget if it wasn't loaded with MSG? No. I don't want that shit. You know what I'm saying? You think we would eat that garbage ass pizzas, roll things? They're just breaded gluten, some tomato paste, and MSG. You mix that together, it's gonna taste good. You know, put some artificial flavor and some MSG in there. You know, fake pizza flavoring and MSG means this to my brain. This tastes like delicious pizza. This is great. You know, MSG and, you know, some salt, pepper, and some seasoning, you know, and just mush that in with dead chicken, mashed up, you know, little baby chickens, mash it up, fry them, bread them up with some modified food starch, MSG, and feed that shit to your fucking kids. Tell them it's fucking chicken nuggets and, great. They're gonna fucking dip it in the goddamn ketchup. They're gonna fucking dip away and they're gonna keep wanting it. And then, I'm not even a fucking parent and I know this shit. Why? Because I've been the fucking kid. That's why. Then, when you want to feed them some food with no MSG, you know, you just want to bake them some chicken with nothing on it. Give them some string beans. Just give them some mashed meat with nothing on it. Nothing, just made all raw. They just sit there and they play in the plate, eat a little bit of this, eat it. I'm done. But they'll eat a whole entire fucking plate of chicken McNuggets. And that's just because of MSG. And that's how we get the kids hooked at a young age. That's how we get hooked at a young age. And then as we get older and older and older, we start to feel like normal food that we eat now it doesn't have enough flavor. You know? Anybody can tell you that when you make your own salad dressing, it's a very acquired taste. you have to enjoy the element of the ingredients that are in the salad. Meaning, think about this for a fucking second. We'll take tomatoes, onions, you know, some kale. We'll put some hemp seeds. Some people may put some olives. You may chop up some peppers or some cucumbers in there. And some people put more things in there. But let's just stop there. We'll put those 6 to 7 different variety, different tasting, delicious things all together, and then we will still fucking go, yeah, I still need a fucking half cup of oil and shit on top of this just because, I don't know, just because, you know, my fucking flavor, man, my fucking taste buds fucked up. FDA got my motherfucking taste buds fucked up, dousing me every day. You know what I'm saying? And that's the truth. If you think about it, like, that's what we do. We do that all the time. And it's just like, when I make a salad dressing, and the one that I like that is the best for me is key lime juice in olive oil. Only because the key lime kind of emulsifies and kind of breaks down the lipids in the olive oil, so that, like, I don't necessarily have to worry about kind of doing that because the key lime juices already start to do that. But at the same time, they play together in my plate with the palate. And they give me, you know, the fat is there. And then, you know, I have, like, you know, little acidic twinge over here. Because you have to understand something. Monosodium glutamate does what it does because it hits all the receptors. You know, it hits sweet and sour, salty, and, you know, it hits all 4. You know, you have the 4 sections in your tongue. It hits all 4 of them. So, basically, what you should try and do if you're trying to, you know, understand your tongue and understand your flavors is, and you want that savoriness, you need to be able to just, you know, touch on all those receptors lightly and be able to enjoy your food, you know, because it's there. That element is there in many, many things. You just need to know about it. Like, you can just put a few olives here and there. You know, there's glutamate in that. Like, that's going to give you a savory flavor inside of your salad. You know what I'm saying? You can do different things like that. Make sure that when you go out and you buy things, that you always understand that if something is pre-made or pre-packaged, instead of just go home and just heat it up and you're just supposed to eat it, it's always going to have MSG in it. And you have to understand, if something has MSG in it, it's going to shut down your fat burning inside of your body. It's going to shut that down. So, if you're a person and you actually want to lose weight, I would get rid of everything that's involved with MSG. You know? I don't want to be like one of those snake doctors, but if I did want to be a snake doctor, I could tell people that they could, you know, take on a natural flavor diet. Because honestly, if they took on a natural flavor diet, they'd lose weight because they wouldn't be consuming MSG. But I don't think the FDA or anybody would really like if Damian Michaels like came up with like a natural flavor, you know, a natural flavor diet that didn't involve MSG, because then just like everybody's going crazy and go, oh, I'm doing keto, oh, I'm doing Atkins, oh, I'm going vegan, oh, I'm going raw, they be, oh, I'm going natural flavor. Oh, you too? Yeah, I lost all these pounds on it. Yeah, I don't have those fucking headaches anymore. I'm starting to lose a whole bunch of weight. What's going to happen? People are going to stop fucking buying shit with fucking MSG in it. So you know what? I think that's what you guys should do. Yeah, you can do that on your own. You can do that without me. Yeah, but send me a check, though. You better send me a goddamn check. Don't go losing 25, 40, 50 pounds talking about, Damian Michaels, man, you are awesome. I didn't know it was going to work. I took those Doritos from underneath my bag, just like you said. I went on a natural flavor diet. Fucking lost all this weight. I want my check, bruh. But seriously, though, if y'all think about the science behind that, if you get rid of all the flavor enhancers that's stopping your fat burning, which, you know, I ain't doing any research on that, but if my fat burning hormones ain't going naturally, that's going to slow down my metabolism and cause me to store more fat and shit, so that's not good. And then you don't want your brain cells dying and vibrating off and popping. You don't want that to happen, you know? And if you... A lot of obese people consume a lot of MSG. They consume a lot of MSG. And that's why they can never lose weight. They can't lose weight because they consume a lot of MSG. And they can't get out of the loop of the depression and weight loss, how it is they feel, and how the MSG makes them feel. Like, MSG to them is what heroin is to a heroin addict. You know? They feel like shit, but when they take that heroin, they feel, you know, they feel great, or they feel, you know, normal like they normally are. But if they don't, they're going to feel like crap. And that's what that is to obese people. You know, they all, you know, people that are obese and fat, they consume a considerable amount of MSG. They've gotten to the point now where their life is based off of MSG. That's all it is that they eat. And they can't get those 6 fat burner hormones to do anything because they're consuming lots and lots of MSG. So I hope that this post made a lot of sense. I hope that you guys got something out of this. You know, I hope y'all understand what it is that I'm saying. You know, because they're lying to you. And if you ever watch those videos out there that try and make it seem as if MSG is popping or if it's okay, just notice how they don't mention any of these things. They never mention any of this. They don't mention any. You know? They don't mention none of this. They don't mention anything I just said to you. They don't mention anything about umami or the breakdown of MSG or how it's an excitotoxin to your brain, how diabetic researchers use it to make fat rats. Like, these things are important, you know? How it specifically disrupts the cells of the retina and destroys them. Disrupts the cells of the retina and destroys them, you know? That and aspartame, you know, same exact thing. In NutraSweet, it's the same exact thing, okay? So you can only imagine, okay? You can only imagine what happens when a person keeps going through this MSG phase, ends up becoming diabetic, and then what did they do? They fucking put that aspartame artificial shit, another amino acid there, for what? To fuck you up even more, because once you get to that stage, they're like, damn, they can't even fuck with our shit anymore. Boom, let's hit them with this aspartame. And now you taking that. That's another thing that fucks your eyes up even more. And it does. I remember one time, because I was a server. I was a waiter for like 6 years, so I got to observe what people were eating and what people were drinking. And after I got into all my stuff and my research really, really deep, I started to realize that most people with eyeglasses, y'all have to understand, they didn't always have them. They literally ate themselves into blindness. Did you hear what I just said? They ate themselves into blindness. And the way they did that was through an MSG-laden diet and combine that with aspartame. If you do the research on aspartame, it comes up here and it fucks everything up. Everything. Anything that's here, aspartame is just going to fuck it up. From all the research I've done, anything here, eyes, brain, aspartame just attacks it. Okay? And it beats it up and it absolutely takes it down. So if you become diabetic from the MSG and then the only thing you have for your fix is now this artificial sugar chemical drug, you're just absolutely fucked. You just jump from one drug to another drug. And then they got you again with another chemical. I remember I was talking to this lady one time, and she was at my table. I think I brought her an unsweetened iced tea. I remember. I brought her unsweetened iced tea. She took the unsweetened iced tea, and like everybody, as you know, probably like you do, she went to go grab this 2 sweet and lows. Right when she went to go grab the sweet and lows, I didn't say anything to her. I just asked her a question. I said, "Ma'am, can I ask you a question?" She's like, "Yeah." She was with her husband at the time. Sometimes I just block people out. Like, I really don't care. At that moment, she was just my guinea pig, and I needed fucking answers. I was like, "Ma'am, how long have you been wearing glasses?" And she was just like, "Hey," she was a little off by it. She's like going on two years. And I was just like, how long you been putting that in your coffee?" She was like, "No, a little little over 2.5 years. I was just like, do you think, that might have something to do with, your eyesight going? And then she just sat there baffled for a second. She just sat there. And she's just like, I never really thought about that. And I was like, yeah. Well, I just wanted you to know. That was it. I took the order. I walked away. I came back to the table. She just looked at me and smiled and said, I use natural sugar. I use natural sugar. It's like, all right, good. Use natural sugar. There's a lot of people that have bad eyesight. They don't know, which Dr. Sebi has proved. Just because you have bad eyesight doesn't mean it's gone. You don't have to go get your retinas burned out and all this other stuff or any chemicals. You can just do what needs to be done. He did urine therapy for 2 weeks, but you can do what needs to be done to get the body to heal itself. But first, you got to get rid of what's fucking it up, like artificial sweeteners, i.e. sugar-free, 0 calorie, You see sugar-free? Run. You see 0 calorie? Run. You see 0 sugar? Run. You don't want none of that. All of that stuff is just wrong. You know it's wrong because when you taste it, anybody ever just taste something that's diet and they ain't even want to be diet? As soon as you taste it, you're just like, what is that? Put that inside some machine. That tastes like it's supposed to run some machine. What the fuck is it doing in my goddamn iced tea? God damn it, man. Snapple. Y'all need to fucking write diet on that motherfucker bigger. Write it bigger. You ever just go and buy a Snapple, you just think you're about to just, good fucking diet. God damn, this is shit. You automatically know diet is a chemical. You automatically know you shouldn't be eating it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you shouldn't be consuming it. So, naturally, like I said, naturally, all these things tie into each other. Yeah, pretty much, yeah, that's really all I wanted to tell y'all. I'm hoping people don't twist my fucking words, man. I'm hoping there's not like some thin chick with like a little booty that's sitting there just like, so this MSG gonna make me thick, huh? She's sitting over there with like a big ass fucking bowl of ramen noodles right now. Her, Keisha, and all the rest of them sitting there like, we about to be thick, girl. We gonna twerk the fuck out of them and this, no, please don't do that. You might burn your damn retinas out. You know what I'm saying? Booty might get too goddamn lumpy. You know what I mean? Just don't do that. Please don't do that. Please don't spin this around so that your ass can get thick. It's not for that. I'm trying to get you healthy. I'm trying to get your mind right. I'm trying to get your mind right. Okay? And I'm only saying that because I was dating like this girl and she was like really, really thin. She had like this nice little booty on her, but she wasn't satisfied with it. And I was satisfied with it, but she wasn't really satisfied with it. And all she had like 2 or 3 stacks of like Ensure and that thing, and I was like looking at her, and she's like always drinking this Ensure, and I look, and she was drinking one, I'd look, and there'd be like one finish and another one, I'd be like, girl, what the fuck are you doing? And she's like, I'm just drinking I'm trying to get my weight up, I'm gonna be thick, and I'm just like, man, if you don't put that shit down, like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. You all have a certain size that you're supposed to be. And what a lot of people don't realize, especially women that are trying to appease men, because it doesn't only go over here, it goes on in the Congo too. In the Congo right now, they're actually injecting chicken stock into their behind. They're injecting chicken stock into their ass to make their asses fatter for men. Because, what the lady said, the Congolese lady said, the men love the atapatwa. I don't know what the fuck they call the booty over there, but they call it some other shit. It sounded kind of cool. She's like, atawatapata. But yeah, man, they injecting chicken stock in their butt to make their butt bigger. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, it's like, it starts to tie into a whole big psychosis. And then what you don't realize is you stack on all this extra weight that you really can't control. And then you run into one of those bum ass niggas from the laundromat with no job that's living at home with his moms. He ends up getting you pregnant. That sucks, right? And then after that, you fuck because you're still sitting there, fucked up in the game with your Ensure, all this extra weight. Now you got the baby weight, bag of Cheetos, bag of Doritos, fucking bum ass nigga gone. Now you sitting there and you fucked up with the game, all this extra weight and no nigga around to pay for you to go to the fucking gym. Now you're gonna be fat for the rest of your fucking life, all because you wanted to be thick. So, don't do that, all right? Don't do that. I'm Damian Michaels. Enjoy the rest of your night.